Yo, guys, this is the intro, podcast number 5.
So you want to make you a drink?
Dude, let's get the bottle out here, Leo.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I don't want to be that guest, but bum off some snacks, bro. Start recording. So this is Leo, Philly Fades. Hit him up on Booksky.
Booksky. Nice to meet y'all. Let's get to it. We'll eat some little snacks right before we do that.
And guys, it's Munchie Mondays, but on a Wednesday. Remember Wumbo?
Wumbo?
Wumbo from SpongeBob?
No.
Hey, if you know, you know. You write stuff down?
Yeah, there's stuff that I want to... I'm sorry, bro. I'm so unprepared. I feel like I lost everything. Where I put my phone?
Is that underneath anything?
I was finding there like 20 years.
Professional podcast. Never seen anything like this.
Hey, good things take time. Good things take time. You took it. That's weird. Let's open up this one.
Oh, there you go.
And then...
So I want to tell the guys, the people, what we're doing, Leo. This is unscripted, so I'm just following along. I know as much as you guys.
Hey, get with it or get right, man. Or get right or get left. We're gonna go to Proverbs 2:6. For the Lord gives wisdom; from his mouth come knowledge and understanding.
Oh damn, Leo, I don't know where anything's out here.
Take this one.
Professional.
No, my Bible was gonna be covered in Cheeto fingers. I ain't dedicated, man. Let's see what's up. It's right after this.
So tell the people what we're doing. We're reading off the Bible. Is that how we're gonna start everything from?
Yeah, because you know it's all about creating a relationship with God. You know, you have to build a foundation. So if somebody comes along and they tell you, "Hey, I believe in this, this, and this, and this," yeah, if you don't have a foundation, they're just gonna blow you over and just change your mind right away, right? So you have to go into it, understand it, and then try to incorporate it. At least give it a chance. And most people don't even give it a chance. That's what I'm saying. This book has a lot of wisdom, bro. A lot of good stuff. So this Proverbs, what was it, 2:6?
2 something.
Yeah, Proverbs 2:6. This right. Oh, I passed it. Under moral benefits of wisdom. That's what it says in this one. 2:6. For the Lord gives wisdom; from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. So we can read it from the beginning. It says, "My son, if you accept my words and store up my commands within you, turning your ear to wisdom and applying your heart to understanding. Indeed, if you call out for insight and cry aloud for understanding, and if you look for it as for silver and search for it as for hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God." So it's just a little bit. I'll read all this to the bottom. For the Lord gives wisdom; from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. Just to finish it. Shit, bro. Is there anything in there that like catches your eye, at least? Something that stands out to you?
Yeah. What I like about it is it's almost... I feel like a lot of people interpret it wrong. Not this one specifically, but like this kind of tone in general.
Yeah.
Where it talks about, kind of asking Lord for wisdom. And I feel like that's something a lot of people, especially people who are like logical, you know what I mean? Those type of people who, they're atheists because like they believe in science so much that like, they just can't, so when it's stuff like that, where like kind of you're asking for wisdom, I feel like a lot of people don't seek it because they don't think it's possible. So that's something that I realized more lately is that the more you seek from outside, it's like kind of in forms of prayer, like the more the more so they'll eventually manifest itself in a way too.
And it says it right off the bat, bro. It says, "My son." We're all his children. You have to understand that too. That's part of his philosophy is, love one another. You know, love your enemy. It's talking about right here. If you're his son, you have to get along with his brothers and sisters, just flat out. And like, if you accept my words, that's if you even want to accept it. So like what you're talking about, those people too. Like if they even give it a chance, that's what he's talking about. And his commands, that's commands. Like he has rules, and then that goes into like, why do you think he has rules? If he knows you're gonna break them. Look at us right now. We breaking the rules.
Yeah, we're sinners, man.
Yeah, but when you still turn to him and you still seek him, that's what he's talking about. Turning your ear to wisdom and applying your heart to understanding. Applying your heart to understanding.
I feel that's a big, because you read this when you don't. I don't know much about the Bible, but when you first read it without having faith, you kind of just glance over these words. But these words, like, they're key words. Like every verse almost should be taken as its own thing, so you can really understand. When it says understand, it doesn't just mean like, oh, understand like the concept of it. You have to like understand to the point you feel it more inward than just like the very concept,
You see the other ones around here too. In Proverbs 1, it starts with purpose and theme. There's a lot of people who don't have that. They kind of go with the flow. Give yourself purpose and a theme. Maybe that's just me going off the top of my head, but I haven't even read it. I don't know if you want to read that. I'll read that too.
Damn.
The number 1, it says purpose and theme. Proverbs 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for gaining wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight, for receiving instruction in prudent behavior, doing what is right and just unfair, for giving prudence to those who are simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance. Let the discerning get guidance. That's a big thing right there for understanding proverbs and parables, the sayings and the riddles of the wise. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
There you go. That's something too. Is people want to do their own thing, but you live, I think, so much happier, kind of letting up a portion of your soul dedicated to someone else. Like when you live with like this in mind that God's out there, it's kind of, you move different, you do different things, and you act differently towards others, and that's big.
What do you think can get a person to that point where they actually give it
a fighting chance?
Yeah,
I think you got to go through some hardship. I know your story, they don't know your story, but when you go through some shit, you kind of realize that you can't. This isn't just, oh, I'm invincible, I can like get away through life doing the bare minimum, but it's almost, I mean, being lazy is a sin, and you think, oh, that's stupid, like I should be able to do whatever I want. But yeah, but then look at the person you become for doing that. You know what I mean?
Long run. Time to real.
Hey, but Leo didn't introduce himself. This is Leo Ray. For the people who don't know, Leo, who the fuck are you?
That's a good question.
Who is this guy? Because I don't know.
Who am I? Shoot.
I just walked in here.
My name is Leo Ray Ramirez.
Let me try to speak up a little more loud.
All right, here we go. Gosh darn it.
My homie right here. It's his birthday.
The hell getting me nervous.
No, you can just look at the camera and just talk to it. That's you, dude. Hey, 5-10 years ago, did you ever imagine yourself in this position? Right here.
That's another thing too. I always knew I wanted to be a young parent, and I haven't read. I've enjoyed every second of it. I love it. I get up, man. It's amazing. Everybody says it. They wish they started earlier. That's how I feel. I love my son. He's crazy.
Yeah, I go 20 years from now. This is the moment you still shit your pants, bro.
And that goes into other things too, like my childhood. Like I'm glad I have all my my mom, my dad. Like, they are, they're my rocks. That's cool too. They held it down. They showed me how bad things can get and how good things can get.
I think parents are also segueing into that back into the more religious stuff. Parents, when you have solid parents, I feel you also become a more solid person. So I feel like also when parents don't teach your kids, at least some things about God. You don't have to be super devoted, but I feel like you still end up with a little bit more, like at least in the back of your head, like, oh, I shouldn't do this, or I should do this, or this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing. When people want to do whatever they want to do, they tend to make bad decisions. Pick the worst option.
I haven't been going to Bible studies that long either, bro. But that's what I've learned too. They talk about that.
Yeah.
Day in, day out, we're gonna have like a constant battle between our flesh and our spirit. We're gonna want to feed into our flesh whatever feels good, whatever's nice. We're gonna go with it.
Candy.
Yeah.
Women. Drugs.
Yeah. We can really go into it. We have a bunch of lists. I can name off a few. I know everybody else can too. But that's when it comes back to this. It's like we're gonna have that battle every single day. But if you at least give it a chance, this helps you out a lot.
Have you ever tried meditating?
Meditation?
Yeah.
In a toilet.
Like meditating, like think of nothing, not like just staying still, but like try to like focus on like literally one thing. Like I said earlier, like when you think about these things and you say focus on one thing, you kind of like gloss over it as like, oh yeah, focus on one thing. That's easy. But then when you try to do it, you realize how easily distracted you can be. And meditating made me realize that these distractions, what kind of turned me off of it was like, man, I keep fucking up, can't do it. But then you realize that's part of meditation. It's literally the whole thing is the journey. It's not a destination really, because every single minute or every single second that you're thinking with your eyes closed, a random thought's gonna come into your head, and you have to be like, no, this is my center. And that's kind of the same thing with this. Like sin is all around you. So if you're not always centered, meditate or focused on one moral compass, then you're gonna get lost in the sauce. If you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So that's why.
Hey, people make lifestyles of it. Like I can only speak from my shoes. That's what I'm saying. It's not that I wasted time, but it takes somebody a little bit longer to learn a lesson. I feel like that's what I did. It's the lifestyle. Like this thing is only gonna tell you how to be better. That's why I believe in it. Like it's something that it's just words, but it carries so much weight and how much it can change you.
I feel like you have to go through stuff because I feel like the Bible, you can't just get into it. You have to go through some shit. You just randomly happen to, get to this verse and it just connects with everything that's going on with you. So if you ever see Bible stuff online, just look it out, check it out. Hey, does this relate to me? No? All right, then I didn't waste any time. But when it relates, it gives you this wisdom that was written thousands of years ago. And it's kind of like, oh, whoa, like maybe we're not so different from, we're not so much more advanced than before. So this is why I think this book holds up. It holds weight because, I mean, any story that if you go through the Bible, I mean, I'm sure there's some that are different, but, what's it? Allegories? It's synonyms.
Synonyms.
Whatever, I can't say the
Synonyms.
word. Synonyms.
Look at this.
Analogies.
We fell and bumped our heads a few times, so we fell off the bowls.
It's
not all there, so don't expect too much.
And I touched on this one of the last videos is that I think this is what makes the Bible a great story because the people in the Bible aren't perfect. We're not perfect, but
most definitely
we're not righteous, and just because we want to get these words out there, but we've been through it. We fucked up. We made mistakes, so we could tell you, we're not.
I know. I hate when I hate when I bring it up. Then people think of me like a whole different way. You know what I mean? Like when I bring it, they're like, "Oh, this guy's he's one of those." Like, nah, bro, I was the same way too.
No, I was too.
Because like everybody, you have to understand other people before you're understood. For sure, that's like everybody shows love differently. So like that's what I used to do. I used to judge people, and they used to be like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, like I love him so much. Like I'd be like, what the heck, bro? Like you're weird, dude. Like, and then that's what kind of turned me off and turned me away from that because of the way other people would show love to him. But I get it. Like he's our father, so like if you take it personally, it's people are gonna show love, and sometimes a little bit different. But if you give it a chance, you understand it. You have a relationship. You understand this.
I think it's human nature at one point to realize that like a trend, when a trend is too oversaturated, so when everyone's all about God, it's kind of like, oh, let's get away from God, and then we get too far away from God, and then it's like, hey, let's get back into God. So I feel that's like a psychological thing as humans. Like if you really think about it, like does it in the world we live in, right? Take religion out of it for a second. In the world we live in, could we ever, as a whole Earth, come into an agreement on what to believe in on anything before thinking about religion?
I believe it's possible, but it's gonna take the worst of the worst. It's just one of those relationships, the world.
I think I could be wrong on this part. But I think there's a part of the Bible where not everyone's supposed to make it. I mean, obviously people are going to hell, but like when you think about people going to hell, like how many people? It's 10 people in a room.
No, but yeah, if you think
how many of them are going to hell?
But if you think about it too, he says all too. He says all too. Like when he comes back not once. He talks about the second coming, and then he's never even left. He's still here. That's what I'm saying. Like, but he's gonna say all. When he says all, he means all. So he's not gonna give up on anybody. So that's why I feel like he hasn't came back yet again because everybody's not ready. There's a lot of people that are atheists, all types of stuff.
So think about this: when economic times are happening, bad economic times, that's when they lean more into religion. That's kind of where I caught myself. Man, is it? Because we feel it. We feel the recession in there.
Oh yeah, of course. That's how my stuff works too. If my people don't do good,
yeah,
I'm not gonna do good. It's all based on my people, how their careers are going, how often they're gonna come see me. So it's a big part of it.
Hey guys, we're not Bible people as far as like maybe he's a little bit more than I am, but you don't have to be super committed to this right off the get-go. Just appreciate one verse here and then give it some time. You see something else you like, and then you kind of start building up on all these things.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see what else we can get into.
Guys, you're taking a shot first?
I know.
Okay. Guys, this is what I'm saying. We're unfortunately still sinners. And the way that we sin may be different than the way that you sin, but we are still all the same. One sin is not bigger than another sin, for the most part.
But the Helper, the Holy Spirit, oh wait, my bad. I jumped right into it.
Give me a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Find me on Twitter, Crusader. That's what we do. Does that make us bad people? Maybe. Ooh, you want some? Ooh.
We got shot glasses too.
Oh, hell no.
This was wilding. But that's what he said earlier too. He's like, I can't. He's like, that's how you know we're getting old, huh? Is that what you said? He's like, we're actually using shot glasses. We're civilized people.
When you first started smoking weed, tell me you didn't smoke out of a can. Out of an apple?
Some sort of
banana
contraption.
I never been more handy in my life than when I was a pothead. Like, how do I make this bomb?
Make you into an engineer.
Yeah. No, then I never got too into it. But when my friends were like, "Oh, we can make this out of make this into a perk."
A perk,
whatever the fuck, to get going, for a bomb.
Are you talking about
like we would break up pens and then put it as that's where you put the weed in.
Oh, like the stem.
And then you gotta make a hole in the side. So that's the perk, right?
I hope so.
Hey man, we're new to all this, life. Hey man, think about it. This is our first time at life. This is your first time at life.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that don't get their life together till way later. That's what I'm saying. If you're showing such interest in just like or at least a thirst for guidance, and what better place to turn to than to God for guidance. Okay, let me see. The next one was Psalms 32:8. So just go back one chapter, I think.
32:8.
Yeah, 32:8.
Guess. Ooh, actually. You know, if I could just say for a quick sec, Leo.
What's up?
This is a real Bible. We're actually like looking at the Bible. This isn't for me or for him. Like, hey, look at us. We're gonna try to hop on this trend like Little Nas X. You know, like we're really. I think we're fairly young guys who are taking interest in this stuff. And something I struggled with was like anyone that super looked up at God, at least when I was younger, was not people who I like, wanted to be like, you know. So I think that's a part of me. The part of that is why I am the way I am, because I wanna be someone I want to look up to. Now some things might not be. May not be the best role model, but I feel like this is something that I kind of take pride in, even though it just started.
That's what's up. Like literally what you just said too. Like that's why this gives you like a I guess like a little guideline to follow, bro.
You ever play a video game and then you need where do I go from here? You know,
Mhm.
and you look at that like the cheat sheet. This is literally a cheat sheet for life, guys. Like this is something that I don't think a lot of people have talked about as far as like why you should find God, because you really will find peace even if you think I'm like exaggerating quite a bit.
Let's see. So it's Psalms 32:8. It says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. Okay. Read that. You read that
After
one.
that,
Yeah, whatever. You read it and let me know what you think about it.
be not like a horse or a mule without understanding. Oh wait, read the next part, right?
No.
Or just reread.
No, reread it so you can read it. And
Okay.
Then, so
I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you.
where am I at?
I think mine's a little bit different.
No, wait, hold on. Wait. You said what?
I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you.
With my loving eye on you? What did you say?
Mine says just upon my eye or eye upon you. Mine's a little different. I know.
Okay. All right, let's read from the beginning. Blessed is the one whose transgressions are forgiven, whose sins are covered. Okay. You know, that can open up a whole can of worms.
That's kind of what we were just talking about. Really.
Yeah. But if you get it, you get the gist of it. Is blessed is the one whose transgressions are forgiven. That makes you curious on like, how can you be forgiven? You know?
Yeah.
And then whose sins are covered? And then can my sins be covered? He says right there they can. And that's good news. For real. Is one of the guys I look up to currently, bro. He always says that all the time. That's good news. He's like, get excited, read this and get excited, bro.
No,
like,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
It's like, what the heck? We just read that and we just
gloss over it, right? We don't really understand what.
Get excited, bro. This is good stuff, for real. And then blessed is the one whose sin the Lord does not count against them, and in whose spirit is no deceit. Blessed is the one whose sin the Lord does not count against them, and in whose spirit is no deceit. I'm a little bit slower, so it takes me a while to like kind of get it.
Well, it's pretty much what I think it's saying is if you, no matter how much you do in life, which shouldn't be an excuse, do as much as you can. No matter how much you do in life, you can be forgiven if you give, yourself to God. Well, like I said, no one's perfect. I have my own faults in my own way. Leo the same way. You do too. We're all the same at the end of the day.
We read 8. We're only at 3. When I kept silent, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day long. For day and night, your hand was heavy on me. My strength was sapped as in the heat of summer. Then I acknowledged my sin to you and did not cover up my iniquity. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the guilt of my sin. Therefore, let all the faithful pray to you while you may be found. Surely the rising of the mighty waters will not reach them. You are my hiding place. You will protect me from trouble and surround me with songs of deliverance. Dang, that's like all the build up to the one that we read.
Yeah.
And that's some crazy stuff, bro.
What do you think about it?
Therefore, let all the faithful pray to you. You know, I'm trying to be a lot better at that. You know, praying. You know, I try to be a lot more grateful, for real. You got to be really grateful for all the things that we have.
I might look at it a little different way because I look at it in the same way as far as grateful, but this is how I look at it. I'm more. This is why in my Twitter bio, and I forgot where else I put it. I put myself as crusader because there's a verse that I vaguely remember that talked about how you use the cross, turn it into a sword, and then that's how you hash your way through life. And the way I see it is it's almost like a superpower when you know you're not alone, when you have this like inner strength that you almost cannot give up because there's something always bigger on the other side. It's almost like I said, like a superpower. It's a drug.
It's real love, man.
You feel more motivated to get up and want to do something instead of like when I was more believed like in atheism, more like it's like, oh well, none of this matters. I could die and then who cares? There's so many of us. You know what I'm saying?
Good stuff. I like that. Okay. You are my hiding place. You will protect me from trouble.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. So to bring that up, you said you're my hiding place,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like that sounds defensive.
Mm-hmm.
The way I see it, it's offensive. I have a shield that I can fucking rush through. Not rush in the sense like quick, but like with brisk confidence, kind of go through life like I'm protected in a way. You know, like I can kind of storm through these stuff. I can go through tough situations because I'm protected, and that kind of gives you this more like you're walking more with your chest out type of vibe. You know.
I like that. I mean, that's a good way to go. You know. So every soldier's gonna run into somebody that's gonna whoop his butt. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta be moving humbly for sure.
That's part of it too. You can't just move in like you own the place. You gotta, humble, but you could, with God by your side, you can't do any wrong.
We all do it. We struggle to ask for help sometimes. If you have friends, if you're blessed enough to have friends and family and a support system, hey man, good stuff.
No, but I like that part about talking about how your bones ache because I think it's talking about how like the way I see it is you go to bed at night sometimes and it just hurts, right? You really wish the situation was different, and I think that's kind of what it's referring to, like that. It's like the pain of your bones hurting almost doesn't even match the pain of those thoughts you just can't go to sleep on. And I know a lot of people can relate.
30:21. Same. Oh, it's in Isaiah. I think it's back. Or maybe I'm tripping. I think Samuel. Judges.
Was it what?
Joshua. I'm tripping. You found it?
I found it. Or I found Isaiah.
It was 30.
This is a professional podcast, guys.
30:21. 30:21. Where am I at, bro?
30.
Isaiah 30:21. You want to read that one?
30:21.
Isaiah 30:21.
Where the fuck's it at? 21.
What's your profanity?
God damn it, you're not gonna hear it. And your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." When you turn to the right or when you turn to the left. And that's kind of what we were just touching on, huh? Is that you really have to have faith. You have to have faith as far as when he puts you on a path, you have to believe it's the path. The more you doubt it, the less it becomes true, and the more you kind of confirm your own bias already. You know, it's like, oh, it's not gonna work, and then it doesn't work. So then, what do you think's gonna happen? Like you're gonna get better at it. You're gonna believe it more. Like you're saying these words, and it's negative to your own self. You know.
That's a good way to walk with it. Your chest up, man. Be proud. This is some good stuff for real. He says, whether you turn to your right or to your left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way. Walk in it." That's a good.
That's faith. That's
yeah,
faith,
for
really.
real.
You have to approach the situations with faith, or else you might as well not even do it.
He's saying that's gonna happen, so it's gonna happen, and that makes me feel confident.
When you stop questioning these like to the minute detail, it makes more sense. And even if you kind of like brainwash yourself to believe in something that you might not 100 believe in, it's still a bit more beneficial than always being contrarian to any like type of advice like this.
The next part it says, "Then you will desecrate your idols overlaid with silver, and your images overlaid with silver, and your images covered with gold. And you will throw them away like a menstrual cloth and say to them, away with you."
What does that mean?
He
What does that mean?
said, get rid of that, bro. That's what in a lot of parts of the Bible, he talks about that, like filth. Like back then, they would wash their feet before they would come into their homes. So they would. I remember I read a couple, or even in like I don't know if we can mention the show, but that show, bro.
Yeah.
The Chosen. You know, there's multiple scenes where they would clean his feet. His mother would clean his feet because of all the things he would do, go out and the people he would help. He would just come back so tired, you know, he couldn't even wash his own feet. But that's talking about like filth. Yeah, treat it the way you would treat filth.
And filth, I think, is like an analogy for just anything that's bad for you, you know?
Start looking up to idols overlaid with silver. And
I think it says silver, but I think it means shiny. Like silver, gold, diamonds, it's all in the same bracket. It's not just silver.
Yeah, exactly. If you have idols, that's just silver. There's so much better to that. Imagine being in that position where you see yourself better than them. That's what he's talking about. He wants you to look at yourself as more than you do your idols. Like, and to him, like, and your images covered with gold. You will throw them away like a menstrual cloth and say to them, away with you. So that's pretty powerful. And 23, he says, he will also send you rain for the seed you sow in the ground. And the food that comes from the land will be rich and plentiful.
Again, that's a metaphor. It's not literal food. It's just sowing your belief in him. Everything in your life will be better, not just what you eat.
Mm-hmm. In that day, your cattle will graze in broad meadows. You'll be thriving, eating good. The oxen and the donkeys that work the soil will eat food, or will eat fodder and mash, spread out with fork and shovel. In the day of the great slaughter, when the towers fall, streams of the water will flow on every high mountain and every lofty hill. The moon will shine like the sun, and the sunlight will be 7 times brighter like the light of the 7 full days. When the Lord binds up the bruises of his people, and heals the wounds of the inflicted.
Man, this is all powerful. I've never read any of this really, but just listen to it. Actually, listen to it, you realize that this stuff's just crazy. It's crazy how, with a little bit, I want to say a little bit imagination. You kind of can't look at it for just the words. You have to think a little deeper.
That's kind of scary, bro, if you think about it.
Which part for you?
He says right there, Isaiah 30:25, in the day of the great slaughter, when the towers fall, streams of water will flow on every high mountain and every lofty hill. The moon will shine like the sun. Imagine that. And think about it, like if we're gonna be in a great flood, like sheesh. Streams of water will flow on every high mountain and every lofty hill. The moon will shine like the sun, and the sunlight will be 7 times brighter. Imagine being in the middle of the ocean, how bright it is. Yeah. It's just reflecting water. The light of 7 full days when the Lord binds up the bruises of his people. His people. I want to be one of his people. I want to be binded up with my bruises and heal the wounds that he inflicted.
Is it not? This sounds like Noah's Ark type of vibe. Are we?
Yeah, I think this is in the first test or
the Old Testament.
Yeah.
God, we don't know. We got questions too.
Yeah.
Check the battery real quick. We good.
Crazy. I want to keep on reading just because it's it talks about that type of stuff. It even keeps on going. See, the name of the Lord comes from afar, with burning anger and dense clouds of smoke. His lips are full of wrath, and his tongue is consuming fire. Is a consuming fire. His breath is like a rushing torrent, rising up to the neck. He shakes the nations in the sieve of destruction. He places in the jaws of the people a bit that leads them astray. And you will sing as on the night you celebrate a holy festival. Your hearts will rejoice, and as when people playing pipes go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the rock of Israel. The Lord will cause people to hear his majestic voice, and will make them see his arm coming down, with raging anger and consuming fire, with cloud bursts, thunderstorm and hail. The voice of the Lord will shatter Assyria. With his rod will strike them down. Every stroke the Lord lays on them with his punishing club will be to the music of timbrels and harps as he fights them in battle with the blows of his arm. Topheth has long been prepared. It has been made ready for the king. Its fire pit has been made deep and wide, with an abundance of fire and wood. The breath of the Lord, like a stream of burning sulfur, set it ablaze.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is.
What do you think all that meant?
Well, this right here, it's in the middle of a. This is the book of Isaiah. So he's talking about. Let me see. I'm trying to understand this. Where are we at?
Guys, in the comment section, if you have some insight on some of these verses.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know a lot of people know what the heck is going on, but we don't. We're trying to understand. Because I was looking up, what is it? Over the topic of intuition. That's what we're going over. It's like, we all have intuition. So, just trying to clarify, understand it.
Yeah, I was thinking to let people more about you. We want to take a little intermission.
It's chill.
Talk about you, Leo.
Oh yeah, for real. I'm not nothing special, but I am something special. You know what I mean? I shoot, bro. I love. I can't. It's my relationship personally, but I think it's like I love myself. And I'm trying to be a better self. So that's why I got into this. But me personally, I am a bad person. I like to smoke weed. I like to drink. I like to do things like that. But I'm also cool too. I'm hardworking. I look out for others. I try to put out what I try to receive. I just hope one day to receive. So you can gotta, get the gist of me. I don't really want to harm people because I've done that in the past and nothing good comes from it. And there's gonna be days where I'm going through some shitty shit and muddy waters, but everybody's gonna have those days. So I'm 25. I don't know if I said that, but me and Forty, I met him just a few short years ago, and then I didn't even know, but I guess we family. So that's Cuzzo, Primo. Uh, shoot, if I met him, shit.
Whoa, this is behind this. This is you guys gotta keep subscribed for years to get this story right here.
Yeah, for real.
You can't get it off the rip,
We gotta chill.
So yeah, guys, Leo, he kind of got more into this, or he got me more into this. And it's dope because even though I talked about this stuff with some friends, I haven't really got a chance to look at the Bible probably since the last time I was at church, and that was a while ago.
Yeah, I feel like everybody has a testimony, like why you should believe in it, or why you believe in it, not why you should, but why people believe in it. Everybody has that, but maybe you haven't. Because some people too, like I know people with some good situations. They got some, everything set. They're well off, but they have their struggles as well. Just because you're not in that position, you just don't know what other people are going through. And just because you see somebody with a nice car, nice whip, everything seems all holly jolly, but you can learn a lot from them too. Maybe they have good or bad habits. So, maybe you can point them and be that little mustard seed that they talk about in the book too. Is like how we were talking about, if you just, like, our parents planted that seed in us, even though I didn't learn a dang thing growing up. My mom would force me to go to church and I just go there and pass out. So, like, I didn't learn a dang thing, but I didn't really realize that it's so important. That's why you see so many people there on Sunday. It's like a big old church. They're just waiting for one doctor, though. Like, that's what you think about it. There's only one doctor there. Everybody needs help from that one guy, and that one guy is Jesus Christ. And if you guys don't know either, I, I'm learning. I'm learning.
We all come from somewhere, You lose, dude. Guys, if I ever make it big and I tell you I'm really into God, and then you catch me at a party, both things can be true because for me it's still the beginning, right?
That's what I'm trying to understand myself too, because this is all about having a relationship with him. He says, like, he is the light, but there's times in our life where it gets real bad. It feels like darkness. You feel like you're going through just terrible things after back to back to back to back. And he's there, right there with you. He's right there with you. But if you don't have a relationship with him, how can he help you? So that's what I'm celebrating that, because I'm trying to build a relationship with him, and I make some bad choices. Like, we like to indulge and enjoy ourselves. You
got the Oreos. That's life, man. We have our life, our struggle, our path, and so do you guys. So, and this is almost like a good test for you guys, people watching, is if you deep down in your hearts, because when people post shit, you think kind of immediately douchebags, but
no, yeah, I hate that people too. They judge you before they even meet you, bro. Like, man.
But the point is, we're not perfect. This is our sins. You may not drink, but then I know, like, are you saying you're better because of what you don't drink, but maybe you're not as fair to your parents as you should be, and you know it. Maybe you steal, maybe you do other things, but we don't steal. I haven't stolen. I don't know. I can't. Shouldn't say nothing for Leo.
I used to have them sticky fingers.
See what I mean? We all come from different places, even me and him.
Hey, some religions would chop my hands off. I'm still lucky to say I got my hands. I'm blessed.
Hey, man. Waking up today is a blessing. That being said, from blessings to cheers. Cheers.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Cut. No cut.
Interlude. The fuck are you saying?
Emotional intelligence.
Before that.
As a man, what do you think that means, bro? As a man, what do you think that means to you?
What part?
Emotional intelligence.
Oh, emotional intelligence.
What do you compare yourself to? The only other thing that you can compare yourself to is like a female. You know what I mean? Like, if you as a man, like, how do you?
It's a spectrum.
Yeah.
Just like female,
Talk about it.
where I'm at, and then like, what a man. Tell me I'm wrong, but we all have the same image of what a man is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Chop it up, man. Make us understand.
The more I grew up, the more I realized the more you struggle for others is the more of a man you are. The if you don't even want to take care of yourself, that's bitch made shit, you know.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I don't like the energy around me because I've been around it, and when you're trying to get shit done, it's not good energy. It's literally negative energy.
Sticky, contagious, nasty.
Hey man, we're not perfect either, right?
If somebody gets up and they make it their priority to complain, get them away from you. Get them away from you.
It's not because they're a bad person. It really isn't. It's just that these things affect you. Just hearing it, just being around it, affect you.
You want somebody that's going through something and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get through this." You know, it's terrible right now. You know, you can just shed your tears. You know, grieve how you grieve, but you just know that there's better. There's something more coming.
Have you ever met someone that because you know them, you kind of move different? You know what I mean? When you see someone, damn, this guy's really going for it. And you kind of, I know him, I see him. It makes you want to do it.
That's what God wants you to do. You know, He wants to test boundaries. If you're not comfortable, you're not going to go out and spread the word. He wants you to go out there and spread the word. The people, that's exactly like the people that, like the type of person I was. If he didn't have his soldiers coming around like to where I was at, but when I was doing what I was doing, I don't know how I would be able to turn to this book. That's what I'm saying. So I'm blessed that he sent somebody to talk to me to change my views. At least gave me the opportunity to even turn to this and know something that's so much better than what I thought was okay. You know, what I thought was okay, I was so misguided. I was going off of what I thought was cool. In reality, I was getting shaped by the world. I was getting shaped by the world. And this gives you foundation. This gives you something to build off of, to be something you're proud of, to be something that to move the way you want to move, talk the way you want to talk, but have confidence behind it. Because if you just spitting out just nonsense and just doing what you think is right, is which we see all the time. A lot of good examples of people just doing that and thinking whatever they think is right, and it's because they're lost. They don't.
If you go into the world and you realize this is how the world is, and you kind of do what they've done to you, that's why the world is like that. This is why we need that inner guidance, the more moral. If you follow what society does, it's not a moral compass. It's just what society does. But if you follow the Bible, that's a moral compass. You can get somewhere while being in such a horrible place, you know. And not literally, but you know, it's more spiritually, figuratively.
Can you think about it like here, how everybody is expected to have a car? Literally, if you want to get around, you have to have a car, right? If you want to keep a job, you have to have a car to be able to get there, right? So you think about the other places in the world where everybody hops on one truck and heads to the town or wherever they have to be, and we actually move the way we were supposed to move and actually help each other. When you see somebody on the side of the road with a flat tire, I'm more than capable of doing that. But how often do I actually do it? That's the real question. This is something that gives you that like treat people how you would want to be treated. If you were stuck, there was millions of cars driving right past you. If just one were to pull over and help you, get that out the way, make traffic flow faster, it helps everybody. So it's kind of like treat everybody how you want to be treated, man. Because one day it's gonna come around.
karma's real, but maybe not in the sense that everyone else thinks.
Mm-mm.
It's not do one wrong, do another wrong gets onto you. It's like kind of builds up sometimes. Do too many wrongs, it's eventually catch up to you. Might not catch up to you in the same, equal energy.
And then there's gonna be somebody out there saying, they're playing devil's advocate, man. They're gonna be like, "Oh no, nobody's ever gonna be like that." Nobody's ever, yeah, like that's what we're talking about. Once it is possible, if you start spreading goodness goes around. Just the same thing as how laziness and all other bull crap.
Think about all the stuff you regretted or felt embarrassed about in your life. Imagine if you didn't have to go through that. Like that's kind of the goal, right? We want to feel not ashamed of who we are, because we all have that. And if you don't, I mean, that's great. But what I noticed, a lot of people that are like that, that have everything they ever wanted, they're almost they're just as unhappy, but just in different means. We all have like different buckets of things that we need, and some people are more full than others. Some people are lacking here, while other people are full. People in the middle.
It's narrow mindedness too. I hear the example all the time. If I was rich, I'd be happy. If I had this and this, I'll be cool. Think about it too. Even if you do have everything, so to say, you still need a compass too. You can't just start, fucking people over and expecting everything to go smoothly either. It just doesn't work like that. So even if you have everything, you have to have a compass. And
And it's funny we say compass because it's literally like it's a compass. And what direction should I go in? It's like I kind of want to go this way. This way looks enticing, fun, but we should do north.
exactly. So you can see where people are going to make the wrong choices, and that's why everybody has a different journey. We're all aiming for the same place, but how we get there,
Yeah, everyone's own.
because everybody makes their own choices. He gives us that free will, that choice.
If you think about infinite possibilities, I mean that's what it is. There's, the way we believe in God can't be the same way anyone else does. Just statistically, just can't.
That's the cool thing about this is like what he was yesterday, what he is today, and what he is tomorrow. He's always going to be the same thing. So you can depend on this no matter when. He's not going to change on you. He's not going to be like a shady person that you met. It's not going to be like a weird person, acting a certain way. This is going to be something very reliable, very dependent. Good foundation.
Oh yeah, we're still just a couple knuckleheads though.
Mm-hmm. We smoked a couple bowls right before this. We're lit. That's why you see me. I'm not. I'm still munching out. Remember when you dropped my sandia at the river?
No,
You piece of caca.
I just had a good day.
True. It was hot. It was hot that day. We went floating.
I didn't. Did you go this year? Last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Assholes.
No, we didn't. Yeah, we did.
I didn't go once.
Nope.
I have my own floaty still from last year, the year before.
Every year those things get worn out. You gotta patch some holes. There's some pretty big floaties. It's fun.
Damn, Leo. So what else been on your mind lately?
This ice storm, bro. This ice storm that we're going through. It's like another. Obviously not as bad, but we can't be going outside. It's dangerous. The roads are icy. They're slick. So I'd rather stay home with my family. Leslie, Kilian.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, that's my familia. I've been lucky enough too. Ever since I got with her, I got a more extended family. I got her mom, her dad, her brothers and stuff, her aunts, like some good people. So I'm super happy that I have extended family. I met some crazy people too, like Bevies.
Hey, shout out to Bevies. But we know him, you don't. You know, he should be behind bars, to be honest.
He's a bad son of a gun. But he's cool.
Yeah.
I've known him since he was running around in diapers. I'm just playing, but he was little Moco Seal. Shout out, babies. Shout out to all the homies, too. Damn.
Shout out to some of the homies.
Hillside.
Hey, you know what you did?
Whoa.
You made your bed, bro. Just lay down. Just chill.
You too, Hillside. The shy guy.
Nah. Yeah, you know who you are.
How can you read this and go against it, though?
It's not going against you. He says forgive, which is okay. I forcibly will forgive them, but that does not mean I have to let them back into my life, does it? Like as much as before.
If that's what you understand, from this.
I'm on a path that I'm very happy with, and they're not on it. Is that coincidence, or what do I do with this information? I mean, nothing's wrong right now. I don't need more. You know, the last few times I saw you, you were doing my haircut. So it's not like we even had that much time ourselves just to be like, hey, let's dick around today.
Yeah.
What you say no to, you're saying yes to other things.
That's true. Thank God for whiskey. I'll tell you that much. Most of my friends like to play soccer and drink liquor.
At one point, you're going to get that fork of the road in your life where you decide what's more important. My own indulgences, as in getting high with my friends, drinking with my friends all the time, or when you take a step away and realize that like there's more to life than just party. Damn. Dude, I should be a rapper, but talking about this. Imagine.
Yeah, I think I just got to that point.
All right, guys, this is about to drop a freestyle.
No, like right now. Like I'm just chilling. I feel comfortable now.
Yeah.
It took me a while because, you know, you think about like all the people that are watching, but
all the people, I got like 10 subscribers, dude. Hey, shout out to you guys. We just got to 135 subscribers.
Sheesh.
10 years from now, it's gonna be crazy.
Boom.
Man, I don't know how the real people do it. I'm sure they edit it, right? And all the silences.
Nah. You just throw it out there.
Oh, you know who I don't like right now as a comedian?
Who?
Andrew Schultz.
Andrew Schultz. Oh, that guy's cool. I like that guy.
That guy's, you know he's 40 years old? He's 40 fucking... I don't want to be like that when I'm 40 years old.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of these guys, you can't even tell.
You can't tell. Like, that guy should not be... I mean, it's the internet, right?
That's how I'm going to be, bro.
What?
My son, when he's 15, I'm going to be 40, wait.
I
really hope I look young, so I might shave the beard. I might get rid of it. I want to look young.
I think that beards help when you're young to look older. But then you don't want to look too old when you look old, you know? I don't want to look like Santa Claus.
I want my beard and my hair
Gray.
all white.
There you go.
Santa Claus?
Silver Fox. Alright, Leo's gonna take another shot, guys.
Yeah, right.
This is the latest Bible study. Bible studies? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah.
You see the people who said some, I don't know how real it is. Like I said, they went on their own journey. Mm-hmm. This couple was like, oh, God talked to us to make a dance club for Christians in LA.
I mean, heck of a time, ain't it?
Is it James?
James 1:5. You know, I kind of feel guilty sometimes for doing the things I do and how I do them. But like I said, I try to keep God in my life. That's it. You know, it really don't matter what you think of me. It don't matter. It only matters what I think of me, and I'll try to move correctly.
That's James, yeah.
James is right here. Go to page. Oh, it's different in that one, but go towards the end. It's past Romans, past Acts,
Shows a backpack.
Yeah. James 1:5.
What? Simple James. Oh no. Damn, James is a small book.
I think these pages are sticking together because I keep on going back and forth. Am I tripping?
I think you tripping.
Dude, they took my whole page. Where's 1 and 2? 3.
You're missing a whole page?
What the heck? It's gone.
First time, guys.
It goes Hebrews, James. This page is stuck together, bro. It is. They have to be.
It is.
Dang, bro. I was like, what the heck? They were stuck together real good.
There you go.
James 1:1. What did I tell you? I said it 10 times. James 1:5. 1:5. What does it say? If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and no doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. Believe in humble circumstances ought to take pride in their high position, but the rich should take pride in their humiliation, since they will pass away like a wildflower. For the sun rises with scorching heat and withers the plant. Its blossom falls and its beauty is destroyed. In the same way, the rich will fade away while they go about their business. Blessed is the one who perseveres under the trial, because having stood to the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. Good news. Good news. What'd you like? What'd you see? What stood out to you? You see when he starts talking about the rich and stuff, bro? See what I'm talking about? That can't be your main freaking focus, bro.
You can't. Yeah, you can't just only want money. And like you were saying earlier, you can't. That's not gonna fulfill you once you have money. Once you're rich.
Yeah, because I've had pennies and I've gotten to that point of pennies because I'm helping people, and that's spending your last penny knowing that you're doing it for the right thing. Money comes and goes. People say it all the time, but actually knowing that it makes you move differently. That's just me.
And it also talked about how you're not supposed to doubt it. You're supposed to back again faith. Without faith, and you have that little thing in the back of your head say, no, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. That's what you need to work on. Because when you ask for stuff, like genuinely, it's a different feeling than when you just want something done. Like, hey, take care of this, snap of a finger.
Big facts. And someone will ask, how does faith work? Well, you answer your own question. Faith works. So put it, you work with faith.
Faith, yeah, faith is a word that we think means. I think we think it means something else. When faith is literally day to day, you have to have faith. It's not do this enough times and you're good forever. It's always you're always working at it.
Mm-hmm. Think about that, bro. It even says right there, believers in humble circumstances ought to take pride in their high position, but the rich should take pride in their humiliation, since they will pass away like a wildflower. For the sun rises with scorching heat and withers the plant. Its blossom falls and its beauty is destroyed. In the same way, the rich will fade away, even while they go about their business. There's some terrible things going on in this world, like in the Congo. I don't know if you see some of that stuff too. Those poor kids, man, they're living in little tiny shelters. I don't even know if you can call them shelters. And they got little kids mining for mercury, all types of other stuff that can kill them, and it's all for our phones. Shout out, Steve Jobs, man, crazy guy. What is all that if you're not giving back? I'm pretty sure he does, but you know what I'm saying? For example,
well, Steve Jobs is dead, so.
Well, the people that took upon his money.
His money? Let's hope, right?
It's a tool. He can't be judged off of one thing, but off of the tool that he used, how did he use it? Like how we all could be judged with things that we do have, not with the things that we don't have.
Well, even then, just because he's Steve Jobs does not mean he's somehow closer to God.
No way.
You could be. Well, I think when he's talking about being rich, I think it means in the sense that all you care about is money. But you can be rich in other ways. I'm sure there's no way you can't have money and still have a strong faith in God.
Yes, it's right there. Let's see. I like that. I'm gonna write that one down. I like that one.
We're doing this live, guys.
James 1:5, big star. Next one, Psalms 25, 4 and 5. Psalms.
Which one?
Psalms 25, 4 and 5.
Want me to say this one?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get there.
Hold on now.
Bag it up, Terry. Bag it up. 25, 4 and 5. 25, 4 and 5. You want to read from the beginning and just read it, just one more after that.
Of David to you, O Lord, lift up your soul. O my God, in you I trust. Let me not be put to shame. Let not my enemies exult over me. Indeed, none who wait for you should be put to shame. They shall be ashamed who are wantonly treacherous. Make me to know your ways, O Lord. Teach me your path. Lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the God of my salvation. For you I wait all the day long. Next one too.
Yeah, one more after that.
Remember your mercy, O Lord, and your steadfast love, for they have been from of old.
Remember, Lord, your great mercy and love. Oh, remember. Okay, nice. Okay. Mine sounds a little bit different too.
No, it does. Yeah, because when I try to follow along with you, sometimes I get lost.
It says, "In you, Lord, my God, I put my trust. I trust in you. Do not let me be put to shame, nor let my enemies triumph over me." No one, like we were talking about that Crusader stuff. That's what he's talking about right here. It said, "No one hopes in you. No one who hopes in you will ever be put to shame. But shame will come on those who are treacherous without cause." That's why you got to be confident in this, because this is the way he's telling you to walk. Yeah. Because if you join an army with God, guess what? Armies have an army of enemies. So just know they're going to be, constant, especially if you're moving with his word. They doubted back then. What makes you think they're not going to doubt today? So number 4, it says right there, show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long.
I mean, kind of what we touched before, I feel like a lot of this comes down to faith. If you're not full-heartedly believing in what you're reading, if you're not internalizing the way, I think there's a couple ways to interpret everything, but at least if you're on the gist of it, you're getting the gist of it. If you're pointing toward that direction of even just believing in more than you do now, that's still a W. You're still more so on the path than not.
Yeah. Who's to say right now it doesn't get worse? What if we start doing this more often? But hey, as long as I feel like we're going over this and we're putting it to use, it doesn't matter how we get together, how we study this, because this might be our way how we do it. Not everybody else is gonna be drinking, smoking, and eating munchies.
And not to say this is how we're gonna do it always either. It's just today, in this time, this era, this is what we're about.
We're only getting better. Only getting better.
Yo, did anyone else update their iPhones? Did you?
I think it is updated.
Did the new fucking noise it makes? Boom. You know,
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't.
Oh, that's, I don't know if you heard it or not. That's what my phone was going off.
Dong. My girl has a little.
Sounds weird. I don't
Hers
like
is
it.
different.
Apple, you fucked up on that one.
By surrendering ourselves to God and His Word, we open ourselves up to receive His instruction and guidance. He leads us in His truth, granting us intuitive understanding of His ways. That's that intuition we're going over. How can you get that if you're not doing this? So we're going over it. The next one, Proverbs 3.
Hold on. Let's do another shot.
Go ahead.
No, let us. That is. Guys, like I said, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I can tell you every single day of my life, I've been unperfect. But having faith that I can at least get closer. At least get closer. Not be, but at least get closer. If I died, not being perfect, as long as I know I've gone closer. Not even perfect in the sense of what we see as perfection, but what the Bible kind of defines as being perfect. Be an example.
Let's pause for a second. I like that. Bro, come on, man. You right on the money. Look, go to the very back of the book. In the back of that one, this stuff it's true. Dude, this is true. Go to
Which one? Which one are you talking about?
Yeah, go just open all the way to the very back. It starts talking about the terms. Like the terms it uses in the book. Like this is good stuff, man.
Is this Revelations or no?
No, keep it. No, you skipped it. Get in here. What does that say? Weights and measures. Look, this is the type of stuff they used to go on back in the day. Like, what is this?
Oh, I see what you're talking about. It's like a glossary, like what the words mean.
Yeah, because these words it's a little bit different back then. So this is the way they would go off of, and like the way they talk, it might have a different meaning, a little bit more strict, a little bit, because their choice of words is very important. Right?
Yeah.
Like what do you see that's like what the heck? Like, you know what I mean? I think even on the next page too. Or am I tripping? No?
That's it for mine. Guys, if you have a Bible, follow along. It might be different than ours, but he's still in it.
Okay. Let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. How many people do you know that can't do that?
You want to go over it again, Leo?
All right. Let me see. I feel like I asked that kind of weird. I mean, it's not the people that we know. It's like, how often can you relate to that?
Do you ever read something from the Bible and you instantly think, damn, this person that I know is just like this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kind of sucks. But that's what I'm saying. He uses us as an instrument, as a tool to get to them. So we might think about it like that, but don't think about it like in a negative way. You know what I mean? Like, that's when I see, like, I'm like, dang. Like, I know a guy that's like struggling with that, or that's doing stuff like that. It's like, fuck. And then I think of them first, but I feel like I feel kind of bad for thinking of them for.
Yeah. But it's like it helps because if you couldn't relate to it, you wouldn't relate to it.
Examples. I'll drink to that, man. To be better.
Here's to wanting to be better.
I'll be fine.
Hey guys,
yeah.
I'm gonna take a shot right now.
You going on there?
You have it in a minute.
For the get a little weird.
All right, guys. Let me ask you a question, Leo. Before you die, what do you want people to remember you as or by? Ideally, right?
A supporting, loving father, friend, barber. Somebody that talks about how many people I had conversations with. I want people to come together when I'm gone. If that day comes early, I know that I want people to be like, "What, you knew him too? Oh, you had those type of conversations with him too? I want people to have those type of things. People from all faces of the earth for real. Because I really have a bunch of people that in another life they probably would never meet. Even in this life, they probably will never meet because if it weren't for me,
Hey man, I can attest to that.
you know what I'm saying?
Been there, done that.
There's people that I kick it with sometimes I never thought ever in my future I would kick it with. And they're good people. Like,
even when I met you, I was like, I kind of knew about you, but I was like, then you pulled up to my house with Renato. I mean, he who should not be named.
no.
And then look at us now.
Bro.
You never know. And it was because of your line of work.
It's like, I think that's, I met so much people because of the simple fact that hair grows back. You know what I mean? They're like, fuck, bro, they fucked up my hair. Leo, can you get me right? I'm like, sure, I'll try my best. And then I meet people that way. It's all word of mouth. Power of that. And that's just a little example. Think about his worth.
I was over thinking, the same way you feel, you don't think Jesus Christ felt? Like, no, I'm gonna die for everyone.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine being where he is. We would never be able to understand, but he was the perfect form, and everybody rebuked him. That's why it's such a...
Think about it like that. Like, you ever been in a situation where you know you're better than everyone else, but instead of being the moral example, you kind of like shy away, and Jesus is him dying, but for us it's like for a very minor example, like when the teacher asks you a question, you think you know it, and you kind of want to raise your hand and say it, but then like, I don't want to embarrass myself. Think about it, he was the best one of us, and he still decided to give himself up for us, knowing he's better than us.
Big facts. Take it personal. Take it personal. Take it personal. If you were the only person on this earth, like if you were the only person, and he literally gave himself up for you, how would you feel? How would you feel? Like, that's what he did for us. There's a bunch of stuff like I still want to see there's a good show on it too. They told me about it's by angels, the same people that did what's it called, the
Aliens.
Oh, not aliens. What the heck? No, angels. They did the Chosen. That show that it's called The Chosen. And
speaking about shows, this is just for the clips so we can clip it again because it's kind of trending. You ever seen Ted?
Ted.
You remember Ted, the movies?
The little bear?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
They came out with a TV show. It's pretty funny. Hey, remember when Ted did that?
That's a bad little bunny. That's literally what God talks about. He's a bad little bear, you know what I'm saying? That's like having a bad little, a little angel, a little demon right here. That's literally what that little bear is. He's a bad little influence. I don't know what goes on in that movie, but
you never seen Ted?
It's been such a long time. I just remember being a badass little bear. No, or what is he?
He is, but
there you go.
But he's actually. I think it's funny. There's shit that comes out nowadays where it's just not funny at all. This is one of the first shows in a long time I'm like, this is it's funny. It talks about what's going on today too. Is like everyone's like too liberal. Even back then, things were people when they were first getting a little more liberal. You kind of see how like it was back then. Where like there's this one part where we're talking about how like the sister or the aunt that lives with them. She's super like liberal. Oh, you can't say those words. And there's a part where like she was like that. You can't say that. And I was like, which part? Like this this fucking bad word or this bad word, and he's like kind of ignorant to it because it's not as new to everyone or as known. Am I making sense?
No, yeah. Yeah, that's a good example, bro. Because there's a lot of people out there. We just hear one thing that they say, and it just might be a strong, something that carries weight, and it upsets some people. But the rest of the stuff that they have to say, it might be something that you agree with. So you have to believe, like, we intertwine. Everything is going to be disagreements, agreements.
I always looked at it like this. If you look at, have you ever seen a nature documentary?
Which one?
Nature documentaries.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Like they talk in such a way that like, oh, in generalizations that like, oh, the female does this, the male does this, and if when you look at life like that, our life, it's like sexist or racist when it's the same thing as a nature documentary. This is just how certain people are. This is how certain people move. If you do these certain actions, this is what will come out of your life.
And for the most part, we tend to do the same things because we all procreate. We all, for in a sense, if you're not lucky enough to be rich or anything, you have to work. For the most part, most of the people on this earth have to do something to get income or do something to eat, and that's how you can relate with everybody like that, but we don't look at as each other everybody like that. Sometimes maybe somebody didn't get something to eat, that's why they're in an upset bad mood, and they treat you like shit, and you see how it can turn into a chain reaction and how that's going to spread on and spread on. So it's the same philosophy to be good, and then when you're nice to somebody, they're going to be nice to somebody else. So it's good and evil. I kind of went off track, but
I think that's what most podcasts do, anyways. I'm gonna take the shot or what?
Handle. Bombs away. Bro, imagine being like in World War II or something.
What?
Imagine that. That's so scary.
Let's
like,
imagine that. I'm like, damn, we're about to die.
I don't. I don't want to imagine
Let's
that.
take a shot right before.
It's scary.
It's gonna be tough. One day, I'm sure we won't be doing this anymore. Maybe we will. I don't know. Because think about like our culture too. It's like
hopefully on a big platform, y'all fuck with us. All crazy and shit. No, I'm just playing. Romans 12.
Where's that?
12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, good, pleasing, and perfect will. What does that mean to you? Does that sound good or bad to you?
I think it's talking about materialistic stuff.
A living sacrifice. That's what's, what did yours say?
The very beginning? The very first
like the topic above it,
Oh, yeah, living sacrifice. That's the same.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like you have to, I guess, let go of what we have here today. Like this might be Leo's favorite shot glass, but it's a earthly material, and we're meant for heaven, so we can't. We can appreciate it, obviously, but we can't be attached.
Mm-hmm. We have to come into this world humbly, move humbly, and leave humbly. Because you're born naked, you're gonna die. It doesn't matter if you're covered in gold and silver and all that stuff. That's proven over and over and over again. So
If you ever heard Un Puño de Tierra, you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know.
therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in the view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. Imagine moving like that, bro. Understand that. It's like, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy. Because that's where we're all seeking God's mercy one day, you know? And how do you think he's going to judge us? Remember what I was telling you the other day? We're going to be measured on the measurement that we give others. Scary sometimes, you know, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice. We talk about that. Remember the other day we were talking about how, you know, I forgot who it was. Is it David or no? Somebody gives up their only son, right? They give up their only son. That no, I'm tripping.
Is it Joseph? Or
No, I'm tripping. I'm talking about God. God gives us Jesus Christ, his only son, to you know. Do you think we deserved it? We did, bro, because we were so bad. We were so terrible. That's why God gave us his only son as a sacrifice. The perfect person, bro. The perfect example to be. We crucified him. And he gave his only son. You know, that's crazy. This is your true. Let me see. Offer your body as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Mindset make millions. If you have a shitty mindset, how much money you gonna be making? Nothing. If you have a shitty mindset, how are you gonna be able to take care of your relationships? Because you're a son, you're a brother, you're a friend, you're a leader, you're all these things. And imagine if you're a shitty one of those, you have a shitty mindset, and it's not gonna make you anything. You're not gonna be bountiful. You're not gonna be fruitful. Nothing's gonna come from that. So it's a reflection of your life. So renewing your mind is very powerful. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is. What is God's will, bro? He's given us all the opportunity to be saved. That's his will, man. He's gonna do everything he can because he's God. He's good. He's pleasing and a perfect will. Humble.
You know how I know he's with all of us, even if we don't know it. We all know what the right thing to do is.
Really, that's the Holy Spirit. He puts the Holy Spirit in all of us, every single one of us.
We all know what we should do, but then we question it. Do I do the right thing, or do I do the wrong thing? And then we really battle with that sometimes, depending on what the situation is.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time, a lot of people do the wrong thing because it's easier most of the time.
Some of the stuff might sound redundant, like we're repeating ourselves over and over again. So that's what it's going to be because he wants you to understand. It's going to be over and over and over and over and over again. So he really just wants to drill it into our heads because we are going to find a certain way to stray away. That's what we do every single day. We stray away. We drink. We smell. You know, but that's why it's because we don't understand that he's repeating himself over and over and over again.
All right, I think let's do one more before we wrap up. Neil?
One more. Okay, what's the last one then? Romans is a very good chapter, bro. We can go to Romans 8. Romans 8. Life through the Spirit. That's exactly what you're talking about. The Holy Spirit. Imagine this. Therefore, I'm just going to go off. Therefore, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Jesus Christ. No condemnation. That's good. Because through Jesus Christ, the law of the Spirit who gives life has set you free from the law of sin and death. Bro, when you die, you should be happy that you're dead. Not like in a suicidal way, but be happy that you can no longer sin, bro. And just know that you're going to be in a place that's where it's beautiful, it's happy, you're in heaven. Like you no longer have to stress about sinning because you are in the perfect place. So, because through Jesus Christ, the law of the Spirit who gives life has set you free from the law of sin and death. For what the law was powerless to do because it was weakened by the flesh. You understand that? That's what we're talking about. We're powerless. We're constantly going to choose what our body wants. God did by sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh. He sent us Jesus Christ because he was flesh. to be to be a sin offering. And so he condemned sin in the flesh in order that the righteous requirement of the law might be fully met in us who do not live according to the flesh but according to the spirit. So if you don't move in the way of the spirit and you move in the way in the flesh, that's why Jesus Christ died, because he was in the flesh and people couldn't accept that, that he was perfect. So why did they do it? They killed him. They got rid of him. Those who live according to the flesh have their mind set on what the flesh desires, but those who live in accordance with the Spirit have their mind set on what the Spirit desires. The mind governed by the flesh is death, like guaranteed death. That's what it's saying. Mind is governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. What more do you want, bro? What more do you want, bro?
No, when you have to get back in frame.
We're back in the cut. Here we go.
I mean, we read it in 0.5 seconds, but it's internalized what's being said, and you just realize that you have to, and it comes back to faith. Every time it comes back to faith. That's the moral of the story is you have a logical mind, but when you let your body be led by the mind, your problems with death. When you let it be guided by your spirit, you promise life. I forgot the other word, but it's right there. It's really right there. You can't really argue against it because that's the whole point of faith. If you argue against it, if you try to look for holes, then you'll be lost. It's we have to almost trust that someone knows better than us, and I think that's hard for a lot of people. You can't just give that power up to just anyone,
And moral of the story, you have something to offer to anybody and everybody. If somebody is literally dying right in front of you and you don't even know them, you have something to offer. I forgot what story I read, but on his last breath, he said, actually the guy that got crucified beside him, I think one was like a thief and another one was like something else. They are like, I forgot what it was, but at his very last breath said that he believed in Jesus Christ and he went with Jesus Christ. That's what we have to do with our very last breath. If you turn to God and in your weakest time, like if somebody literally, that's what I'm talking about. If somebody were to come up to you and literally was dying, you have something to offer them. Tell them, hey, like God is willing to accept you. Believe in God. Because he's the only one that could judge you. He's the only one. He is the God of what's that word? What's the word when you try to make yourself right? When you try to, is it justification? Justification.
He justify yourself?
Yeah, he is the only one that can justify, bro. We can't justify ourselves. There's no way. We're gonna find a way to justify anything that we do, but God is the only one that can justify. And imagine that. You're not going to move the way that you want to move right now if you're not the one if you can't justify yourself. You can be like, oh, that's terrible,
I think that's why it's important to have faith, because without faith, you don't even question yourself. Am I doing what's right for me, for my family, for those around me? Without some sort of moral compass, as we touched on throughout this podcast, you really will just get lost and do whatever and not feel any shame or guilt for not being the person you should be. All right, guys, it's getting late, but we have a good hour plus of content. So, podcast number 5, I believe. Vlogs coming up, more reactions coming up. Shout out to Leo, aka Fully Fades.
Thank you for having me, for real. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for listening. Sometimes we kind of skip out on that. We don't give nobody that ear. That ear it's a lot more powerful than the mouth. Promise. Try to do it more often, guys.
Peace.
Peace.